When I work with leaders all over the world, there's one thing in common. When I give them feedback about how they're showing up, it typically comes as a surprise to them. We need to understand generational conditioning. What are the beliefs and behaviors that influences the way that they're showing up? Our industry is very focused on what we are doing. And what differentiates us is our process. Our process focuses on who you are being. You change who you are being, everything that you do changes from the core. I usually use the analogy of an iceberg to explain this. Think of the part above the waterline as our conscious mind and everything below the waterline as our unconscious mind. Most of the time, we are operating from that unconscious place, from all of that conditioning and programming that is unconscious to us. It influences every single part of our leadership, our communication style, how we deal with conflict, whether we're able to collaborate or not. Everything is informed by what's below the waterline. But here's the thing. We continue to repeat these patterns unless we become conscious. And this process is a journey. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. The conscious leadership journey is all about small incremental changes that make a huge impact. And I use the acronym POCA because POCA in Spanish means small. And so the P stands for pause, this very intentional need to slow things down. Because when we do slow down, that's when we can see ourselves, which leads me to the O, which is observing. And when we think about observing, we're thinking about how we are being, how we are showing up. Then we go to choose. Once we have self-awareness, comes choice to be intentional so that we can be the leaders that we choose to be, not the ones we default to being. And finally, A is about stepping into action so we can hold ourselves accountable to this new outcome, a new result that we're looking for. If this becomes so part of who you are that you're able to pause, observe, choose, act, and you're able to be intentional about it, we become the leaders that we choose to be rather than the leaders that we default to be. And that is the power when we become conscious leaders. You're no longer restricted by all of those limiting beliefs, behaviors, the things that were holding you back from a leader. Now you get to be who you choose to be. You can be intentional, and it opens up an incredible world of opportunities and possibilities.